Okay.
When you go upload,
Upload what?
Keyword react.
I'm not going to upload that one. I think I was preaching or God went off on a tangent. All right, so here we go. Got some questions. I still got some test questions that I don't know if I've answered, but we can do that later after class. This is 2.1. I don't have a number because this is
Hubert, you don't need to do that one.
dial.
It
All
was,
right, so screw everybody
sheet.
else, right? Just the heck with everybody else, right?
Well,
I'm going to go over it anyway. I appreciate you being honest with me, but I'm going to go over it anyway for anybody else that might have a question, okay? What's wrong with Miss Shuttleworth? Is she on drugs again? All right, so here we go. It says, find the slope and y-intercept of the line. So let's do that. So what do you got to do to find the slope and the y-intercept? Solve for what?
X.
No, you're wrong.
We're Y first.
Solve for y. Get y by itself. Let's turn on our handy dandy whiteboard, which disappeared. Where'd the whiteboard go? I hate it when it does that.
you can't say whiteboard. Say color. The board last.
Damn Russians and Nigerians.
Sorry.
And Chick-fil-A. You eat at Chick-fil-A, you're a racist.
Only white homeschoolers work at chicken.
And white milk.
And they say, how may I do service? You're like, I've never had anybody be this big.
So, 3x minus 9y equals 45. Take the 3x, cross the river, it becomes minus 3x. Negative 9y is equal to negative 3x plus 45. Does anybody know what the number one mistake on this problem is? Anybody want to take a guess?
Negative.
The negative. The negative in front of the 9. You know what happens to that negative in front of the 9? I'm going to steal that if you want to read it. They what? What?
It's really not that good. My strawberries are sour.
Oh, okay. Well, you can put a little bit of sugar on it.
No.
Okay. The negative 9, this is what happens to the negative. Y'all students just do this. For some reason, when y'all do this step right here, the negative just disappears. And you divide through by positive 9, and your whole answer is wrong. Okay? When you have the negative there, you have to keep it there. You can't erase it for convenience. So you divide by 9, divide by negative 9, divide by negative 9. And when you divide by the negative, it changes all the what? All the signs. And that's why a lot of students get this problem wrong, is because they know how to do it. They just forget that negative in front of the 9. And you get y is equal to what? 1/3 x minus what? And the y-intercept should be, let's go ahead and highlight. We're going to highlight the sign of the slope. That's a positive, so that means left to right up. We're going to highlight the vertical over the horizontal, which is your slope. And then we're going to highlight the y-intercept. And that should be your answers. That's a good Chapter 2 test question. Chapter 2 is a continuation of review, but it also starts to introduce the derivative as well as the limit. So that's what Chapter 2 does, or Chapter 2 and 3. So, comprende?
Comprende.
All right, next one. This is 2.1. Looks like we got several questions. My gosh, did you send all those? Or did it just... Does it send all of them? I don't know. All right, a moving conveyor is built to a rise 1 meter for each 8 meters above. So draw what? Draw a picture. And a lot of these, you have to really think about it because some of them, they word it. But every meter rise per 8 meters, just come in whenever. How was breakfast? Was it good? Well, good. I'm glad. I hope you went somewhere good. You know, if you're going to be late, you might as well go somewhere good to eat.
Sorry, I was trying to get my
Yeah, I know.
English paper.
And the Russians beat you up and threw you in a van, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so what is slope? Slope is equal to vertical over what? Horizontal, which is 1 over 8. Suppose the conveyor runs between 2 floors in a factory. Find the length of the conveyor if the vertical distance between the floors is 9 feet. Okay, first of all, they're mixing feet and meters. Are they wanting us to use for the... Okay, this is why I hate this book. Okay, are they wanting you to... Suppose the conveyor runs between 2 floors in a factory. I guess they're talking about this conveyor. Are they talking about this conveyor? Because they got to change it to... The slope is equal to 1/8. Find the length of the conveyor if the vertical distance between the floors is 9 feet. We've got to change meters into feet. This is a stupid question. They should change it to meters. They should have meters. If it's 3 meters or... That's what I would do. I would find out, somebody Google, the way I'm reading it, does anybody read it differently? You're going to have to convert meters into feet. Is that not what I'm coming up with?
Like,
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
looks like it.
I mean, you can't have feet and meters and come out with feet. You got to change one of the two. So somebody Google how many feet are in a meter?
3.28.
Okay, so this is 3.28. So somebody multiply 3.28 times 8. 26.24 what? Feet? And the only way I know to do this, and the way the question is set up, 3.28, that's vertical, feet, over 26.24 is equal to 9 feet over x. That's the only way I know how to do this. Now, the question, to me, that's what the question is saying, but that B really is not a good question to ask for this. But we'll try it. Somebody take 9 times 26, whatever, and divide it by, so 9 times 26.24 divided by 3.28.
I got 72.
Is that what you got, 72.56?
I just got 72. I think it's
Well, that's all I know. I don't know how to do that problem unless you do it that way. And they don't have any kind of help me solve this, because this is like T-Rex webpage. So I would suggest just do that. What did you get? Is it 72 even?
Yeah, I got 72 even.
I'm going to have to research this one because I really don't know. The way the question's asking is set up as a direct proportion. Now, try this. Try 3.3 and 26.2. Try 3.3 and 26.2. Try that. Take 9 times 26.2 and divide by 3.3. What do you get?
71.45.
The only thing I can come up with is they're doing it a different way. Let's hang on to the 72 point. You said it was 72 even? Until I figure out, I've never, I can see why you asked that question, because that is I see that, Miss Ingram. You said help on second part. I agree with you 100%. That, I'll have to come back with you on that one. Huh?
Could you use the, gosh, it's been a while.
The 1/8, the slope is what I was thinking.
Could you use the Pythagorean theorem to find isn't it called the hypotenuse?
Well, the hypotenuse is not what they're asking for. I mean, yeah, I guess they are asking for, so to find the length of the conveyor.
I just did that and it's still got 72 even.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it. I'll have to get back with you on that one. Who's Miss Ingram? Where's Miss Ingram? I'll have to get back with you on that one, because I don't know how they're doing it. Because the reason that a lot of you say, well, why don't you know how to do it? Because I'm doing it the only two ways that you can do it that I know of. The way the question is written, they're setting it up as a direct proportion. You said you did it by the Pythagorean. What'd you get?
72.
Sounds like to me that you got two different methods saying 72 feet. I'm gonna have to get back with you and find out what they're doing, but I'm gonna have to research it, because they don't have a way to do it, because this book sucks. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Did you send all these questions, Miss Ingram, or did it just do this?
I think I sent some.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. If you did, I just wanted to know. I didn't want to go over questions that you hadn't sent. And if you sent them, that's great. Let me go down. Consider the following. Okay, this is a good question. Write it down. Let's see, 4, 1, 10x minus 2y is equal to 5. I'm going to show you how to do both, and I like to do both, and it's asking you for both, so that's great. So 4, 1, 10x minus 2y is equal to 5. Everybody with me? Write it down. Somebody tell me you got it written down, because I'm going to go to the whiteboard. 10x minus 2y is equal to 5. Y'all got it?
Yep.
All right, so let's go to the whiteboard. Let me see if I can bring in, I don't think I still have it, because this computer has been restarted. Yep. Hold on just a second. I'm going to pull in something that I need. Let's go here. I didn't say online graphing calculator. I said online graph. I got to get training.
Train yourself.
Yep. Now let's go back to the whiteboard. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, now the question asks, what was the point? 4, 1. And what was the
10x minus 2y equals 5.
10x minus 2y is equal to 5? Okay, so first thing, we're going to draw a table. It's got 3 columns. And over here, we're going to put 10x minus 2y is equal to 5. And here, we're going to put parallel 4, 1. And here, we're going to put perpendicular 4, 1. Now, over here, solve for y. Go ahead and do that. Solve for y in the first column. And once you solve for y, put m down. What is m? So, let's solve. I get negative 2y is equal to negative 10x plus 5. Y is equal to 5x minus what? 5
Negative
halves?
5.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So m is equal to 5. Therefore, what does m sub 1 got to be for a parallel line? Let's go back to the rules that y'all should have learned in algebra. For a parallel line, m sub 1 is equal to what? M sub 2. The slopes are equal. For a perpendicular line, m sub 1 times m sub 2 is equal to what? Negative 1. So m sub 1, I'm going to write that in blue. So for a parallel line, what is m sub 1 going to be? 5, because it's the same as this one. What is m sub 2 going to be? Or the other slope is going to be negative what? 1/5. Now what do I have here? A point and a what? Slope.
Slope.
A point and a slope. I'm going to use the point slope what? Point slope equation, Hubert. Do y'all remember any of this stuff?
Yes.
No, you don't. There's the point slope equation. Plug and chug. I know my 109 students remember this because we went over it.
I don't think we went over this in 110 because I have not ever seen that before.
Yeah, we did. The review. If we didn't, it's my fault.
But
It's always my fault.
I'm cool with that. Can I use that?
What?
Can I use that in court?
Yeah,
Blame
go
on me.
ahead. No, if you're facing the public or facing, if you're out in public, you blame it on somebody. You blame it on somebody else. So here we go. Which way do we read?
Left, right.
This is x of 1, this is y sub 1. X of 1, y sub 1. So y minus parentheses equals m times x minus parentheses. Y minus 1, 4, and 5. Y minus 1 is equal to 5x minus what? 20. Y is equal to 5x minus what? Now let's do the red. Is it okay if I use red? Y
Absolutely
minus
not.
parentheses
You could have
equals
finished
parentheses. Okay, I'm sorry. X minus parentheses. 1, negative 1/5. Oh God, a fraction. So you might as well not even do this one. Y minus 1 is equal to negative 1/5 x plus 4/5. Y is equal to negative 1/5 x plus, what's 4/5 plus 5/5?
Yes.
Now let's graph these. I'm going to plot, let's see, y is equal to 5x minus 5 halves. So I'm going to plot that one in black. And I'm going to make it, well, y is equal to 5x. So negative 5 halves is negative 2.5. Negative 2.5. And my slope is positive, so it's going left to right up. It's 5 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 over. So I take my handy dandy line maker. Well, I thought I took my handy dandy line maker, but I haven't had training, so. Okay, now I want y'all to draw the blue line and draw the red line. Do that in your notes. The y-intercept of the blue line is what? Negative 19. Well, that's way the heck down here, but we'll try to do it. Blue, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Positive slope, so that means it's going left to right up, and it's 5 over 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. I think, no, right here. 1, 2, 4, 5, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. I take my blue line. Things I do for y'all. And that line is what?
Parallel.
It's parallel. Now let's look at the point 4 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There's our point right there. So I'm going to take my handy dandy green line. I'm going to circle. That's our point. That's in common with both what? With both the red and the green line. I meant the blue and the green line. The blue and the red line. So now let's do the red line. Well, no, you can't do that one because it's got what?
Fraction.
It's got fractions, and y'all can't do fractions. So 5 will go into 9, 1 and 4/5, right? 1 and 4/5 is almost 2. So 1 and 4/5 be 8/10, right? 1 and 8/10, 1.8. So let's graph 1.8 is right there. Everybody with me? Y'all agree that's 1.8?
Yep.
Okay, and it's negative slopes. That means it's going left to right down. It's going this way. And it's 1 and 5. So 1 up, 5 over. 1 down, 5 over. Let's see. 1 down, which would be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take our handy dandy red line maker. Look there. It's a what?
Miracle.
Miracle. And that's what you just found. You found the equation of the blue line and the red line. Because I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot of teachers that go through everything we went over there, and you have no idea what you just did. So you can take your handy dandy blue marker and write y is equal to 5x minus 19, because that's the equation for that line. And you can write in red y is equal to negative 1/5 x plus 9/5. And you feel good about yourself. Correct?
Right.
So you don't make up jobs for the person that you live with. That's a woman's job. That's a man's job. Feel good about yourself, you don't have to do that. Just like the man that killed his wife because she didn't bring him pizza home. Dumbass. I'm trying to find my questions. Give me time. Men cannot multitask. Y'all know that. Where'd my questions go?
They were all answered.
What the heck is this?
I don't know, but I'm like,
I see this English, but I didn't. Where did my dadgum stuff go?
I think it's on
What other one?
It's on
it's
the
another tab
Where?
at the top.
Well, when I pulled that up a while ago, it didn't have those tabs up there.
really not.
Damn Russians. Oh, check and make sure we did it right. I don't know what they got.
What? Okay.
They're on the same side.
Who does that? Have y'all seen the commercial? Who glows? Okay? Who the heck writes? Okay, my way is right, and if you do it on a test, you'll get it right. Okay? Everybody with me? That's the dumbest way. I've never seen it written that way. Never. Okay, take your problem. I'm sorry. I just get so irritated having to make up what is it called? Explanations for DA stuff. And this is just DA. Nobody. I don't care what kind of calculus, I don't care what kind of math or market, nobody ever writes a formula like this or an equation like that. So I'm just y'all just make sure, solve for y and see what you get. Do you get what I have? You bring the y over, it gives you y is equal to what? 5x minus 19. Bring the y over, y is equal to what? No, if you bring the y over here, that's going to be negative. Then you got to divide, or bring everything else over. Oh, God, it's so annoying. It's going to be x, negative x. What's plus 5 minus 9? Negative 4. That's not right.
No, I think you have to multiply that by the y.
Yeah, that 5. See, you can't even read that. I can't even read it the way it's written. That's x plus 5y minus 9. So you got to bring the 5y over, be negative, and this just causes a cluster. I think we got it right. Anybody solve for y on that second one? See if I got it right. That's all right. I'll do
Yeah,
it.
you did.
Okay. So, is this a good test question? It's a good test question, but it's written stupid. It's answered. It's not answered correctly. Same way here. What does this one say? Parallel and perpendicular. Oh, it's got fractions. Let's do this one because y'all won't be able to do it. Why won't y'all be able to do it? Because there's a fractions and y'all can't read rulers. Much less make change. I don't mean y'all in here. I mean all students. They see fractions. What do? Quit. So write it down so I can put it on the whiteboard. I'm not going to graph it, but you should be able to do it. And we're not going to write it like this because nobody writes it like this. This must be somebody, evidently a grad from another country or something. I don't know. I've never seen it written like this.
Why did they not put the 40 like x? Like, why is there a
Yeah, why is
multiplication
there 40
sign? I know.
24.
Have I told y'all that WebAssign sucks?
Chase.
All right, y'all got it written down?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go to the whiteboard. Now, this is a good question because it's fractions, and I like to put the fractions on there because it makes y'all quit. So, what was the 2 points? 3/4.
7/8.
7/8. And what was the equation?
5x
5x
minus
minus 3y equals 0. Huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay? They had to do that. So it is 0. So you're going to end up with a easier, they're not very, it's not going to be that difficult because you're not going to end up with another fraction. So I'll just, 5x minus 3y is equal to 0. 5x is equal to 3y. Y is equal to what? 5x over 3. Everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
So m sub 1, m is equal to 5/3. Therefore, m sub 2, I'm going to write it in blue since I don't have posters. M sub 2 is equal to 5/3. And m sub 3, they should make a pen, a stylus that has buttons on it that you can change the colors.
Oh, that'd be exciting.
Too smart.
Yeah.
Do that.
That could be your next greatest invention.
I need to invent that and I'll become a millionaire.
Yeah, you should, honestly.
M sub 3 is equal to what?
Hey,
I don't
speaking
know.
of money,
I'm just going to wait
Hey,
until you put it on the board. Because we
Did you
can't
see
do
the-
fractions.
Powerball winner came forward and took the money
Did he? Is it
Yeah.
he or she?
out of there, staying anonymous. They took the lump
I
sum.
don't blame him. And I'd show up down there in Columbia with a daggum ski mask on. There ain't no way in Hades nobody recognized me. I'd put a daggum wig and a dress on and a black mask.
All your former students would know.
How would they know?
If you showed up with a wig and a mask on, we'd all done with you.
Oh well, I'm screwed.
Give me
Well,
my
you know I win it because I'd have a different 3,500 different color for every day of the week. 3/4, comma 7/8. I've had brand new Caterpillar equipment and brand new tractors on my farm. I'd spend that money, but I'd have to put it away because I'd have it spent. Dang old buy me a house, dang old sandals, dang old clear water. Hubie don't do dark water. Dang old Jaws, dang old chomp chomp chomp. No, hell no. At least in clear water, I can see Jaws when he comes up. I ain't kidding you. Some of y'all are winged on a pickle. Y'all know that. Tell a nice story and y'all just sit there like this. That's all right. Y'all winged on a pickle. Y'all half of them don't even know what winged is. So, ready to quit?
Yep.
Why? Y minus 7/8 is equal to 5/3 times x minus 3/4. Y
No confidence.
minus 7, I'm the master of this universe, leave me alone, is equal to negative 3/5 times x minus 3/4. Mr. Poor, you gotta lay off some Marlboro Reds.
I'm sorry.
All y'all gotta do now is algebra.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, because y'all can't read. Can't make a change either. So y minus 7/8 is equal to 5/3 x minus 5/4. Because what happens to the 3's? They cancel, Hubert. That's right. Bring over the 7/8. We got to have a common what?
Denominator.
Denominator for the 4 and the 8. So y is equal to negative 5/3 x. And I'm going to bring in another color. We're going to bring in magenta. And we're going to change that. by force into 10 what?
8.
10 eighths. And what's negative 10 eighths plus 7 eighths? Negative 3 eighths.
Yeah, 3/8.
Okay, if you need to, write it bass backwards like the sundial people want you to write it. Over here, y is equal, or minus 7 eighths is equal to negative 3/5 x plus, nothing cancels, so you got 9/20. Bring the 7 eighths over, it becomes 7 eighths. And now we got to make a common denominator here. Y is equal to negative 3/5 x. Now we need to make a common denominator. Common denominator of 20 and 8 is 40. No, it's 160. Yeah, well, you haven't been taught right, so be quiet. So here we go. I'm going to take my magenta pen, and I'm going to change this to 40. How many times will 20 go into 40?
Twice.
2 times 9 is 18. How many times will 8 go into 40?
5.
5 times 7?
35.
35. So I hate 8. So what's 18 plus 35?
53.
53 over 20. So write those two down so when we go over to the answers, y'all can see the numbers. I'm not going to ask you to write it. 0 would be a negative y over here. 0 would be a negative y over here. So I don't know how they're going to write it. They'll probably write it on top of each other. So let's look
Is
at...
that one over 40 instead of 20?
I'm sorry, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, smart, don't you? 40. Thank you. So let's turn around. Quit whispering. What are you whispering about?
Well, I like to check before I ask. Is the slope is negative on the blue column?
No, it's positive.
Okay.
That's the equal sign right there.
One more down, the one that you said.
Oh, I kind of messed that up. Thank you.
She thinks
Oh,
She's trying to be smart aleck too.
she's the one that wrote it.
Yeah, she's like her mama. I don't even know her mama, but she ain't like her daddy. Her dad'd be like, what?
He would just let us laugh.
He'd be like, it's pretty blue. Tell him I said that. All right. Next, let's check it. Y'all check it, solve for y and see what you get. I think we got 53 over 40, did we not? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's your 53 and there's your 40. So you know we got it right somehow. I'll be honest with you, I have never seen that written like that. Have y'all?
No.
And some of y'all have been through 2 or 3 algebra courses at least, so I've never seen it written that way. Okay, calculate and write a sentence interpreting the following. For the second quarter, an airline posted a revenue of $603 million compared to the revenue of $609 during the second quarter. All right, this is a very good question because it is really, really easy. But a lot of people don't know how to do it because they've never been taught. And the way you do it, new minus old over old. Write that down. I don't know if you see it in any book. That's just something I've always taught. New minus old over old. New minus old over old. I got to tell you this story. And you multiply it by 100. This is the decimal. So if you need to get it into percentage, you multiply it by what? 100. This gives you the percentage, okay? So when I first started at Tri-County, there was 2 other people that started with me. Okay, there was a director. She started the same time I did, and there was one other person. She's already retired, but the other person still works at Tri-County Tech. But anyway, her first year, I was like 3 months teaching, and I get an email from her. And she says, I got a president's report, blah, 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 in 15 minutes. I got to do this, da, da, da. How did I get the percentage change? She was trying to find the question like this. And she didn't know how to do it because her major is not math. Her major was administration or whatever. And she didn't know how to do it. So I just told her new minus old over old. And that's where that came from. So I don't know if it's in any book or whatever, but that's it. New minus old over old. So what does this say? For the second quarter of 2009, the airport posted blah, blah, blah. All you need is the red. 603.2. The revenue, compared with the revenue during what? 2000 what? 8. So which one's old? Huh? The second one. So write that down, put it in the old position. So we got 603.2 minus 693.5 divided by 693.5. Somebody do that on your calculator. Oh my gosh, we're going left. That's awful. It means Jody can't sit on the left side of the equal sign. Hey, it doesn't take that long, people. I thought some of y'all were on the calculator drill team in high school. My gosh, man.
Negative.
Negative what?
I got 0.13.
Negative 0.13. Everybody get that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've heard 2 or 3 yeps, I think. All right, now multiply that by 100. Move the decimal 2 places to the right. Negative 13 what? That should be your answer. Now, they're getting you to go through 2 or 3. God, this is such a terrible. They're getting you to go through 2 or 3 questions, but the final answer should be negative 13%. Let's see what they're asking y'all to hoops jump through. Get rid of this. Somebody tell me what time it is. My son's supposed to be here at 11 o'clock. It's what?
10:30.
Okay. I'm trying to get to the... Okay. I did this the other day. I don't know how to fix it. Just go over here. There we go. Did y'all get 0.13021?
Mm-hmm.
0.024.
Okay, that's good enough for government work. Now, I don't know why they're asking you. Okay, do they need to ask all these questions? No. Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now, the only thing I want is the negative 13%. Okay, I think they're asking a lot of redundant questions. Y'all look over it and tell me if it's not redundant. It looks like to me it's redundant because I see the same numbers over and over and over. To me, that's redundant. The American Eskimo, and see, it made her mad. She's leaving. Population, okay, that's another. Calculate the change. Which one's the old?
The first one.
The first one, thank you. 1930. So it'd be 4.5. Now you'd have to change, okay, you're going to have to change, you're going to have to do this, you know, you're going to have to do 4.5 million. You're going to have to do your zeros, or you'll have to do your scientific notation, or do it in the calculator. 4.5 million. So that's 4,500,000 minus 362,000, or put that in scientific notation. I don't care how you do it, okay? Divided by 362,000. So I'm going to write it out for you, and then you can decide how you want to do it. Why can't I not just use the numbers? Because the nomenclature is different. This is millions, and this is what? Thousands. So you can't, in the previous one, everything was millions. So you can't just do that this time. You have to actually write it out. So 4,500,000. That's the what? That's the new, yeah, new minus old 362,000 divided by 362,000. Now you could do it by scientific notation if you wanted to. I don't care. But somebody tell me what you get. Just give me the decimal to 4 places, please. It's going to be positive. Why? Because 4 million is greater than 360,000. So it's going to be positive, so it's an increase. So you can either write it as positive percentage, or you can say increased, and then give me the 4 digits, 4 decimal places. It may not be, it may be a whole number, but maybe 11.431, is that what you got?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
11.431. And of course, move it 2 places to the right, and that's 1143.1%. And that's what you get right here. Those are maybe one test question out of both of those. I'm glad I'm going over these because, like I say, some of y'all need to review. That's good. And I guarantee you there's somebody in here going, "Golly, I didn't know that." All right, this is just an interpretation. Draw a secant line left to right, endpoints of the graph. Calculate the slope of the line. Well, that's going to be hard to do on this one. The figure shows the highest elevation sea level attained by Lake Tahoe from 1982 to draw a secant line connecting the left and right what? Endpoints. So take your handy dandy straight edge, and I'm going to do it in blue. Left to right endpoint. Is that what it said do? Okay, now you've got to do, what is this? Well, you got to draw a line down here. I don't know, unless they give you 82. Do they give you 82? You're going to have to make sure that that's 82. I would say it's 82. And what's this one? 96?
Yeah.
So these 2 points you'll have to take, and I'm assuming that one's 82. Now there's nothing giving me that information, so I'm just assuming, which you do a lot with this WebAssign. So I'm going to take this point right here is 82, comma 6228.98, and this one is what? 96, comma 6229.09. Which way do we read?
Left, right.
X of 1, y sub 1, x of 2, y sub 2. What is slope? Delta y over delta x, which is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x of 2 minus x of 1, which is equal to parenthesis minus parenthesis over parenthesis minus parenthesis. Plug and chug. 6229.09, 6229.09 minus 6228.98, 6228. I'm just going to write that. Y'all do the math. And 96 minus what?
8.
All right, somebody crank that out.
0.007, or you could round up.
0.007 what?
8.
That should be what you get. They said round to 3 decimal places, 0.008. You're going to see a lot of this in Business Calc. You're going to see a lot of this in Chapter 3. When we find in the trend lines, you're going to see a lot of this. So get ready for it. Question on that one. These are all good questions. These are all Chapter 2 questions, it looks like, because there's not a lot of... So I'm going to move to another set of questions, if you don't mind. I'm going to jump over here. Well, how do I get back to the questions? There we go. Miss Ingram, I'm not disking you. I just want to go to another question if I can. Did we just go over those? That's 2.2. Let's see what that one looks like. Okay, these are ending behaviors. All right, it's saying here, do the following. Identify the input interval. Input interval. Y'all know what input interval means? I hate this book and this website. Y'all know what input interval means? Anybody?
No.
Is it
Starts with a D. It's a domain.
Domain.
So mark that stupid word out and put domain. Identify the domain which the slopes are what? Positive. So what's a slope? Well, it's a line that goes left to right up, right? This is a positive slope, isn't it? Left to right up. Everybody with me? That's a positive slope. So let's put some dots here. There's a dot. There's a dot. There's a dot. Let's do one at the vertex because that's an important number. And I'm going to take my handy dandy green line maker and I'm going to draw a slope there, slope there, slope there. What's the slope at the vertex? 0. What's this line? That's left to right negative, left to right negative, left to right negative. So these, it wants to know what? A positive slope, right? So that's not a positive slope. That's not a positive slope. That's not a positive slope. These are all what? Positive slopes. So your domain for your positive slopes is negative 1.5 to what?
0.
0. Do you include 0? No, because 0 is a horizontal line. It's the vertex. It's the horizontal line. So you do not include 0. Really, you don't include 1.5, but you can, but they're not included because you don't have any inclusion on any of these. So the only answer is what? That one. And in this section, that's what they're wanting you to do. They're wanting you to put slopes on all these curves or tangent lines on all these curves just to bring home the secant to the tangent, just like I did with y'all with the limit theory and the walking to the what? The wall, half of a step. Okay, for identified steepness increases, decreases. Well, it's increasing, then it's what? 0, then it's what? Decreasing. Okay, so I don't know what they're asking you here, but for the interval and above graph, the steepness increases. It's decreasing because it's steep right here. Then it goes and then it starts to what? It's going to level out here. So it's increasing, but the steepness is decreasing because what does it do right here? It levels out. So this one's more leveled out than this one. This one's more leveled out. So the steepness is decreasing. Is this important to you passing this course? Not really, but they're just trying to get you to learn how to read the tangent lines or the slope. That's what they're trying to get across to you. Where are the slopes negative? From 0 to what? 1.5. We done determined that. And the steepness increases. Identify the input. What's 0 at 0? I showed you that. Okay? All right, there's the tangent line. Estimate the second point on the tangent line. Okay, I don't want to go over that one right now. I want to go to the other one, 2.2. Let me go to that one, and then we'll cover that one another day. I want to try to get as many questions as I can. Somebody tell me what time it is before y'all go into convulsions.
10:40.
1.5.
Okay, thank you for the 1/2. I appreciate that. 2.2. Okay, this one, 2.1, did we do that one? Have we already done all these? Oh, this one, that's the one. Okay, this is 2.5, and I can already tell you it's going to be a test question. Why? Because it's different quotient. 80% of your chapter 2 test will be difference quotient. So you might as well get used to it. So these are good questions. So go ahead and let's do the first one. It says negative 2.3 t to the second power. And then plug in 1.2. Just do 2.3 t to the second power. So that means I'm going to rewrite, take my blue, and I'm going to rewrite the equation. Negative 2.3 parentheses second power, close, and then minus, and then f of x is 2.3 t to the second power. Now remember, this is, you can put in x if you want to, and then put in x plus h, but we're going to have to put in t plus h, because this, over h. So here we're going to type in t plus h right there. And now do your algebra. Okay, so that's going to give us negative 2.3 t squared plus 2th plus h squared minus, that'd be plus 2.3 t squared over h. Negative 2.3 t squared minus 4.6 th, plus minus 2.3 h squared plus 2.3 t squared over h. And what happens to the 2.3 t squareds?
Yes.
They cancel. And then this is going to cancel here and make a h, and this is going to cancel there. And your answer is negative 4.6 t minus 2.3 h. And when the limit as h approaches 0, what happens to the 2.3 h?
Goes away.
And you're left with negative 4.6 t. So let's do our power rule. And what's 2 times negative 2.3?
Negative 4.6.
0.6. And what's 2 minus 1?
What?
Negative 4.6 t to the first power, which is negative 4.6 t. Now take 1.2 and plug it in to 4.6. What's negative 4.6 times 1.2? Y'all can type it in the calculator, please.
5.52.
It's a miracle. Good test question. Write that one down. Put a highlighter. You got 4 or 5 that we've already done that you can use. That's another one. All right, try that one. And we're going to finish on this one because some of y'all start doing the funky chicken. So we need to go ahead and finish. Start attacking your bags with zippers. Y'all got some kind of zipper fetish or something. 2 parentheses squared minus 4. Oops, I should have done that in blue. I'm sorry. Innovative teaching. Minus red, which is just rewrite it, 2t squared minus 4 over h. How we doing, Easley? Pendleton? Oconee?
Good.
Good.
What time is it?
11 o'clock.
Should be here by now. Probably. So, what we're going to plug in right here. T plus what? And let me just go ahead and tell you, a lot of times, 90% of the time, it's going to be x plus h. But of course, this book does everything bass accurate, so it's going to be different. So 2 times t squared plus 2th plus h squared minus 4 minus 2t squared plus 4. And that's going to give us over h. And that's going to be 2t squared plus 4th plus 2h squared minus 4 minus 2t squared plus 4 all over h. Let's go ahead and take out our 2t squareds and take out our 4s. And the h takes that one out and makes that an h, which the plus 2h, limit h approaches 0. What happens to the 2h? It goes out, Hubert. That's right, class. And you're left with 4t. What's 2 times 2?
4.
And t to the first is t, so that's your derivative. Okay? Now, what is 4 times 5?
20.
That's what they want you to do. This means plug in 5. That's what that means. Okay. You feel a little bit better about your questions? Miss Ingram, you sent a lot of them. You feel good? Okay. Anybody else sent them? I hope you feel good. Y'all get out of here. Work on this section. Chapter 2. You should be in chapter 3 right now. We'll continue with chapter 3 Tuesday. Y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you.